Winner or loser gets to choose said map. So Cloud Kingdom, man, it's actually a pretty fun map. I'm actually enjoying it as of late. We've had it in the Playhem dailies a lot in the last 3 weeks, I believe. So definitely a map coming on its own, and it's the map of the Space Shark, man. That
Oh yeah,
Space Shark.
we are on the holy ground
Yeah.
of the Space Shark. We'll introduce all three of them in just a second. We'll start here with Dragon and Robin. Go ahead, man.
Well,
Introductions are all yours.
we got Dragon up here, open up with the Reactor Hellions. Really playing on point this game. He's not doing anything really too out of the ordinary as we would normally see, like mass Hellions or mass Thors or anything. Really playing some straight up games, really hitting some solid timings against Cella, who's down the bottom left corner. But yep, Dragon's up here on the top right. He's going to be your blue Terran player. Get that zoom in. I know you want to, Dragon or Froden. In the bottom left corner, it's going to be Cella. Got to be our red Zerg. Hopefully he can come back, man. I really feel like the first two games he played really greedy, getting out a lot of tech and whatnot. Game 3, he went for an all-in that I really feel like he didn't need to commit to. He killed off the third command center, or at least forced a cancel on it, which is always huge in itself. I feel like he should have expanded behind it, because Dragon knew the all-in was coming. He had a nice little supply depot wall up, nice and bunkered in. He actually stopped his stem pack from going down and got siege mode instead, because he needed it to hold off the attack. And it was perfect. It really killed off everything that Cella threw at him. So I feel like it was a misread there from Cella. So hopefully playing a little bit better in this game. In the top right corner, we got Dragon throwing down a proxy Rax.
Yeah, it's definitely it's the Makarox. Now, for those of you who may have not been around StarCraft for, in the about a year and a half ago when GSL was first starting, there was a player named Maka who would actually be placing barracks on the low ground, and he would hide it so as a way to kind of scare his opponent, but it wasn't actually terribly far away from his base to the point where, if his barracks was discovered, he couldn't save it. And it's actually becoming still like a little thing that Terran players do just to switch it up. Now, again, I love it just because Dragon's shown different openings every game. And he's shown diversity in play, ability to adapt, read his opponent. And honestly, Cella's just been kind of stubborn. He's been droning a lot, and he's tried to conform. In game number 3, he went for kind of a half-hearted all-in, man. He was expanding during that time and doing all this other stuff. And it wasn't really that timing attack that he really wanted, because he just didn't have enough banelings, enough roaches, just fell a little bit short, where he definitely could have punished Dragon. So Cella now finds himself down 0-3, has quite a hill to climb.
Palmalki, I believe is how you say his name, is asking if this is live or a replay. Tell him, man. This is a replay.
This is
this is a replay.
This is a replay, man. In fact, this has been broadcasting 4 times. This is a rebroadcast for the 5th time. Oh my goodness! Actually, an Overlord to get me picked off here.
Beautiful.
Whoa.
Oh, that's so sexy. Oh my gosh.
That was pretty sick.
He put a Rax down there. Okay, so he proxied the Rax, and it's had 2 Marines pop out, lifted the Rax, knew an Overlord would be coming in that direction. That's a really normal point for an Overlord to go, and just kills it off. That's huge, actually. Wow. That was so sexy, man. So checking over into Dragon, what do we have here? We have a gas going down, 2 gases, actually. So looking like he wants to go for some kind of heavy tech at the moment. And down in the bottom left corner, we had Cella open up the 15 hatchery into the pool, into gas. So, wow. Interesting openings from both players. Command center now down for Dragon. So, looking like we're going to play a little bit of our macro game this time.
Yeah. Now, guys, someone was even pointing out in the chat that, Overlord's 100 minerals wasn't that big of a deal, but the whole idea is the early game is all about larva control. It's all about map awareness. You can't have the Overlord spotting things like, is he taking gases really quick? Like, is he saturating his natural a lot? Is he even actually going to go for his natural? Is he just fainting his building placements? Small things like that is what really separates being able to be safe and feel safe as a Zerg player when you drone, or not feel safe at all because you know what's coming. So those kinds of things, especially with the supply block, that also is just very annoying. It messes up timings. So these kinds of small things really help Dragon a lot going into the early mid game. He's transitioning very nicely again to Reactor Factory. He has 2 gases though, so he is actually going to probably pump out just a few and then transition to some heavy upgrades, as right now he's racking up a lot of gas.
Check up in the top left corner, Froden. A fast third here from Dragon, really just trying to sneak some bases. He has a lead, so it's completely cool to do this. He killed off that Overlord, which again kind of slows down Cella's tech a little bit. It really hurts him a lot. So Dragon gonna go ahead and use his advantages he has here. He has the advantage of 1 being up in the game, kill off the Overlord. It has a little bit of a better, I guess, He's just been playing better all night. Just really, just going to use that momentum and grab that third in the top left corner. I love it, man. It's really cool. I think it's something you should always do in a best of 7 like we have today. So Hellions now going to go ahead and pop out, grab that map control, and once he kills off these lings, and until speed comes up, which actually, do we even have speed? Yeah, we did. Okay, so speed's finished up, and unless a lot of lings do come out for Cella, he's going to have map control. So the possibilities of this command center being scouted is pretty slim.
Yeah, you know, and that's the whole idea of even just having map control or having the presence of Hellions. Cella's not even trying anymore to really take map control. His Zerglings are here stuck, just making sure that there's no third in the top center. Now we do see 7 roaches and another Baneling nest.
Yeah,
So
he's wanting to do. I think he's wanting to try the roach
Yeah.
Baneling all in again. And he's got 2 gases, which is really, really good at just kind of letting the economy kind of manage itself. Hellions gonna come in here though from Dragon, try and force down a couple of drones. Cell doing a better job here of having roaches and some queens there to go ahead and block them off. Drones coming on back already, and now. Dragon's aware. A lot of roaches are on their way.
Yeah.
Here we go. Pushing across the middle of the map. At this point, he actually went ahead and did not grab Stim quite yet. He's grabbing the Siege Mode. Again, just holding the way it's supposed to be held. You grab Siege Mode faster instead of grabbing your Stim. In fact, this is a mistake a lot of Terran players make. You won't have enough units to actually utilize it. And he gets a lot of stuff in the way. A lot of supply depots, a lot of bunkers. And the Siege Tank is actually going to be on the high ground here. Another great feature of being on Cloud Kingdom. I think Dragon's going to hold this perfectly once again. And Cella's kind of just throwing the game away, I feel.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's marching his units under the Space Shark, asking for its blessing before this attack. A very ancient but very revered tradition here on Cloud Kingdom. He has a huge wall to bust through, man, and I don't know, dude. I mean, these Banelings, he's making way more than he did last time. He's making 17, so at this point, can he be able to break the wall? There is a small little choke point, but is he going to go straight for it and just try to bust through the front? And a lot of Banelings end up going on supply depots. The siege tanks are on the high ground. The roaches cannot get to it. That if he had that overlord, he would be able to look up onto the high ground and take it out, but Cella losing so much supply for almost nothing. He managed to take down a few supply depots and a couple of SCVs here. He's killed 4 SCVs, and you know what? That's not going to be enough. Is he going to discover the top base in the top left as well? Because that is another form of income that will really start to basically outproduce Cella at this point.
Dragon almost made a huge
48.
mistake. He had a siege tank, actually not in siege mode, and barely missed his second volley off that killed almost all those Banelings. He wouldn't have lost so many supply depots if he wasn't sieged up. His siege mode just barely finished up, but he must have been looking at something within his base. But he did hold it, so he's good to go. Checking into the harvesters right now, as you said, 58 to 54, but the mules really kind of allowed Dragon to explode in economy at the moment. Checking into his income, he's getting 2,200 minerals per minute at the moment compared to the 1,600 here for Cella. And here we go. It looks like we might have a push on the way. Bunkers being canceled, a couple siege tanks popping out. Well, never mind. He's just going to go ahead and expand this top left corner, so you wanted to maneuver his way. But again, you were right, man. The top left corner, that third, is really going to start paying off for Dragon pretty soon. Cella just overall is going to start falling on behind, just because he's going to be behind economy. He won't be able to really keep up with the production overall. I'm looking over at Cella. He's got a Spire on the way, starting up his level 1 Carapace, but no indication of going for a third. He's got a macro hatch up, which leads me to believe he wants to go for a Muta and a lot of Lings pretty soon, but I don't know if it'll be enough, man. There's too many siege tanks, and Marines are really starting to come into their own now.
Yeah, and the whole idea of having 2 base mutas is that you're going to eventually expand to a third, just because you can't really sustain a lot of muta production on 4 gases. And you definitely want to up it to 6, just because you get that 50% increase. And there it is. Looks like he's going to go for a third hatchery, but very much delayed. Because right now, the way Cella is playing, he has to harass a lot with the mutas and really capitalize on it, but Dragon's got everything prepared, man. And not only that, he's got double E-base putting up upgrades as well, so he's not going to fall behind in any form of fashion. Cell looking very, very strong. He still hasn't discovered the base in the top left. He's finally sending 1 Zergling close to it.
Oh, yeah. He's looking for a path here.
Yeah.
That's all it was. He's putting a link there for the pathing that might come around for a flank or anything. But there we go. Some links might actually catch some Marines. As things out of position here. This is going to be a little good for Cella. Going to help him cut that army a little bit from Dragon. He is going to be able to save his siege tank. Actually microing his siege tank there a little bit, trying to get a couple of free shots on those lings. But Cella, again, he's got some lings, some roaches on the field. That third is about to finish up pretty soon. He will have that 5th and 6th gas, which is going to help out for his mutas, as you mentioned a little bit earlier on. But I'm trying to find some way for Cella to come back in this. He's got to have really amazing engagements and make sure to land some really key banelings on those Marines. But already we have Thors on the way, which is going to be great against those Mutas. So again, for any harassment, it's going to be denied pretty easily. We have 2 factories pretty soon. That's me turning them out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe, racks on the field here, just constantly churning out Marines. Just a starport, keeping up the medevac production. That 4th really paying for itself at the moment. Can even start grabbing that 2 gases if he wanted to pretty soon as well. Just overall, besides the fluctuation of a lot of minerals being here for Dragon, his macro has been on point.
Yeah, I mean, it's because he's gotten bases so quick.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he just couldn't get the production to match it. And you can tell he's really starting to explode up in economy, because this is the point where Zerg should be maxed and Terran should be exactly where, Dragon is. So, I mean, at this point, we see that Cella is moving around with his Mutas, does not want to engage that Marine army. That would be a very poor choice. Mutas are unupgraded, and he's not intending on getting any upgrades at all. Cella's saying, wait, he's expanding toward. He has a command center here. He's definitely going to expand towards the middle of the map. So he definitely, at this point, needs to make something happen, but he's letting Terran just max a huge ball that he's not going to be able to engage. I mean, let's look at what Cella has. He's got less workers, 60 drones to 84, and he's got only 17 mutas. He's got some banelings back at home just to be cautious, but at this point, what can really Cella do? Dragon's completely fortified in almost every area.
I love what Dragon's been doing here as well. 'Cause after the Roachling bailing on, a Thor is going to get picked off here in the middle of the map. That's always nice to grab. Marines might be able to come on in here, but he knows that after the Roachling bailing all in, that Cella can't be too aggressive or he'll lose any type of push that will be coming. Actually, really quick, Lings are running on in here in the top left corner. Looks like some Marines will be picked off in the top left. Oh my gosh, some nice bailing hits are going to be going off. There's a lot of siege tanks here, and some Marine stim does just finish up for Dragon. Oh my gosh, that Cella hit a nice timing here. All the siege tanks will be cleaned up. A lot of Marines being killed off as well. There is a group of Marines down in the bottom right corner going for a counterattack, but will it be enough? There is a Thor out here and a few Marines at the natural, and it looks like this hatchery is going to be getting picked apart down here in the bottom left corner. Action all over the map right now, Froden.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon, he wanted to make this attack work, and he's actually going to come out way ahead of here, because the whole idea is he can trade supply like Marines and tanks easily because he can reproduce. He's on 4 bases, and he's taking out an entire third of Zerg's economy and production. So this is actually a fantastic trade for Dragon, despite the fact that Cella got a great engagement. If he was able to shut down these backup Marines, then he would have been absolutely golden. He would have been able to do a lot better going into the mid to late game, but all of a sudden he's finding himself down another hatchery, because if he was able to shut down those drops, shut down the army, then he would be able to kill the top left, because there wouldn't be an army to defend it, because again, things like Thors and siege tanks are pretty slow. But instead, Dragon, all of a sudden, he's killed a base, he's retaken map control, and all of a sudden he's up 4 bases to just 2. And Robin, I always say this, I'm not good at math, but that is overwhelming odds right now in Dragon's favor. And he's going to take, again, a very strong position, taking the forward watchtower here. And yeah, I'm looking at this right now, what Cella can do. He's making more mutas. He's down 45 to 85 drones, and looks like Dragon's just pushing up here with low amounts of Marines and Thors, being very, very aggressive with so little. But I guess at this point, he can afford to do anything he wants.
Well, he's spreading out the Marines and really forcing the Balians kind of be wasted on a group of them. And at the same time, look at this trail he has. The Marines go marching one by one on the right side. Actually, you were saying earlier Dragon was being a slippery snake, but he's actually being a snake there on the map. A huge line just moving its way on down. Marines now heading straight to the natural. Now still kind of stuck on 2 bases, almost mined out. He's going to try to pop out as many units as he can with the larvae he has available, but he doesn't have that much. Some Balians now morphing on in. There's a nice amount of mutas here, which will be helpful, but again, so many Marines. This is looking so darn scary for Cella. He's going to try 200 supply to 109. Siege tanks are sieged up, so when the Balians come in, Dragon's got to focus down the Balians, and he's good to go. Here we go, Marines heading on back here as the mutas are heading their way forward. The stim does go down, no medevacs, but it looks like it won't even matter. Marines are going to destroy these mutas. GG thrown down by Cella, and I believe that's 4-0.
That is a clean sweep, guys. Get your brooms out and get your Swiffers, as Dragon looks like he